Good evening, everybody. Once again from Ollie's The Advertising Roundtable, the second edition of our Adda, and this time from what we call is the home of advertising. In any case, this is Kolkata. So the last time we had discussed the difference or the conflict between traditional advertising and social media advertising, digital advertising, as to and where we are going. And we got a very positive response, despite the fact that there was only my friend Usman who had lent us his office, and myself, and two kids who were handling, basically backing us up with the shoot and the camera and organizing tea. And of course there was a dog, Coco. And Coco had also joined into the discussion, much to our delight. But this time around we are a little more organized, and we hope that hereafter we will keep on being a little more organized in getting the people. And I want you to look at Sudip Mallik. Now, he's the man who is smiling there, looking like a sahib, a brown sahib at that. Sudip is the man who had been putting this in our head that we should have a national forum for discussing advertising, marketing and brand advertising in whatever you call it, because there isn't any, and that's a fact. Am I right? There isn't any. So we had taken the initiative of starting this roundtable, which is basically discussion, as you know. And we, my friend Syed Usman had suggested that why don't we go live and discuss critical topics concerning the business. So that is why we are here. And after the last time, as I said, we had a reasonable response. This whole thing is also up on YouTube. Some of my students where I teach had also called me up to say that they had learned a lot apparently from what we had discussed, but that the first one was really a kind of a mock show, but that's how you start. And this time I think we are slightly better. Now the reason why you will find a lot of geriatric people in this show, but we also have a lot of very young brightsters. If you can see them, they are also here, so maybe I hope we have a similar good spread all over. But before that, I must talk to you a little about Davis and Grill. To us at Ollie's and those of us who run Ollie's, they are like the title sponsors. You know, they are the big boys, like the Sony, SEC TV and Z TV. So Davis and Grill is really, we have somebody who has just joined us.
Buchuda.
Oh, Buchuda is here. Buchuda, please come. Buchuda, please come. Sit down.
Thank you.
A very veteran geriatric has also joined the geriatric club. But, that's it. But then, as he says, that this is a city of old people, where we delight ourselves in calling ourselves from Kolkata. Now, Davis and Grill, my friend Nilanjan, who was a long name, Nilanjan, Ganguly, and Srijit, they got hold of me and they said that the next time we must have it here. So we are here. Now, Davis and Grill is a very Thomson, Benson sounding kind of a brand name. I'm not very sure whether they're a part of a WPP chain. I hope you all are not. Because if you're a WPP, you all are gone. That old man has been supplying women, I'm told. He's done that. So, Davis and Grill have been very old friends of mine. And they said that we could host it over here. Now, this is a very fancy office, I must tell you. And can I just take you around the office for a while? And before that, Srijit, and would you introduce yourself for a minute? And here is our friend Chaudhuri, who is also a part of this. And these are members from Davis and Grill. So I just want you to take you around for a quick tour of the office. So will you all please help him to?
Yeah, sure.
And I love that blue door.
Hi guys, so this is the kind of director's room where we do brainstorm, and we always say that, you know, let's be awesome today, and we do our little brainstorming over here as well. That's a kind of a small conference, and yeah, we were talking about a door, so this is our new door, and I think most of the great ideas come from this place, so we kind of highlight this. There's a small session where we do have an account section, and well, until it's done. And this is a graphics motion, the static graphics section, where you can see Shobik is working still hard. catching up the deadlines actually. So this section is majorly the stratigraphic part and a small entrance here, and this way we have. Okay, we have this cycle hanging up there. We believe that's something pretty unique in our office. Okay, so come along. That is a very small office, and that's how we managed our spaces. And this is our motion graphics department where we're having the Adda right now. Yeah.
All right. Now, in today's session, before I come to the discussion, I must introduce you to some of the veterans who are here. And I had been promising or threatening the team over here that I'm going to spring a surprise. And I have with me two big, huge veterans and another gentleman. Let me come to it one at a time. This is Hiran Mitra, the famous painter per se himself, who has done enormous amount of work in graphics and painting. At the same time, he's a cinema set director. He's a theatre set director. He has done covers for Mohini and Ghodaguli, in case you're... and many more. I'm not getting into that. And television. So he's an all-round man. But he has also worked at a very low salary at that point of time. When I heard that salary, I was shocked. Because as a trainee in Clarion, maybe I was getting a little more. When he used to work as an art director in a reasonably good advertising agency, but that's how he became. So I have Hiran Mitra, who is a surprise I'm bringing in. Since Mr. Monojit Lahiri, who, when we were in school, Buchuda was already working, and we would go to his house and he would talk to us about advertising, whatever that meant. But he, by the way, is one guy who has been interviewed live for a job by Kersi Katrak. So when somebody is interviewed by Kersi Katrak and thereafter years...
And offered a job.
And offered a job. He's making a point. He was also offered a job. And the interview, I believe, took place inside Kersi's car.
I have to recollect this. This is a very interesting once in one of the stuff that I was commissioned to do. I was out of college and looking for a job and stuff like that. And Mr. Ghosh had called me. But at that point, I was off to Bombay because I had got a call from Mahindra and Mahindra, the management training those days. So I went. I had no interest in Mahindra at all, but they paid first class fares. This was late 60s, so that was okay. So I went there. I did the interview, neither here nor there, and looked around immediately for jobs in advertising. Okay. Actually, not my father, but it was Kersi Katrak who drew me to advertising. And I remember in college in the late 60s, I remember the ad also. One ad, I think it was Gillette or some blade, with the headline that something like, yours is a very special face, it needs a very special blade, something like that, you know. Now to us, we are students of literature, that really took us, because this was a very different kind of a paradigm, you know, it was a different kind of a language and stuff. So it drew me to that. I said, this MCM is something I should go to. So I looked around and I asked around and went up to Gateway. Now, in my entire life of over 40 years in advertising, this is standout because this, and that is he was the Raj Kapoor of advertising. I went up to his, I remember in Kolkata, Bhaktawar building, I still remember, 7th or 8th floor. He lived like Ram. He lived on top and the office was down. I went to the office, it was an ad office. I had seen, because my pals went Clarion and Thompson, and so I used to go to Benson. This was Calcutta and that was Bombay and that was MCM. So I went to the office, it was a very cool, low, absolutely a gorgeous babe sitting there. You know, I said, wow, so the MCM office, terrific. So I went in and I said, I'd like to meet Katrak. But yes, please, what's your name? So I went to get her. In 5 to 6 minutes, I see a guy coming with jeans and sandals and kind of a very sexy bush shirt. Very good looking guy with a small beard. I said, Monojit, I said, hi, let's see, come. He was the managing director or chairman of us. But this is not the way you're supposed to be advertising your tie and all correct. Took me, he said, come, sit. He took me to kind of an ante room, beautifully laid out, and he pressed a button or whatever. and you have this entire kind of curtain go up, and this fantastic view of the Arabian Sea, Gateway of India. I said, great picture here, wonderful, what do you have? I said, sir, I'll have no one have a Coke, come on, would you like a gin and lime? So I was wondering whether this life after death. It was real. I mean, you see Kelsey Cutler, he strolls into his office with that bush shirt and he's ordering me gin. He said, I'm going to have one so you can share. But I was not at all into. I said, better say yes because otherwise it can be exit before entry. You know? So I said, okay. I said, okay, sir. He said, stop calling me sir. Kelsey, okay, right. So he said, tell me about yourself, what do you want to do? And at that point, like all guys, I used to write a lot of poetry and I was heavily published in JS. There used to be a magazine called JS. I read some of that. And then I had some poems and stuff like that. And some idiotic, some articles or something. I used to write from college. So I read them. And he said that you did some work with Thompson's. I said, yes, after college I did orientation. Ghosh, I said. It took 15 minutes, the gin and lime came, I had a couple of sips. He said, okay, you're on. It's okay, fine. Now, today is, suppose, I think it's February or something. Join us 1st March, I'm going to pay you, I remember, I'm going to pay you 350 rupees. And are you married? I said, no. You got a girl? I said, yes. Planning to get married? I said, yes. Okay, you'll have to be subsidized, 350 rupees won't get you anything. Tell your father he'll subsidize you or whatever. 350 is on, 350 is on, and you come and join us. And let me also tell you that 350 can go very well go to 1,000 in 6 months if you're good. And it can remain 350 all your life if you're not good. Okay, so that depends on performance at all. But I like you, I've seen some of your stuff, I think you have potential, so that's
well then Buchuda, that's Kersey. That was the word and that was Kersey.
Yeah, and I went back and of course Mr. Ghoshal had a chat with me. So Kersey had to be Kerseyed. I came into Thompson for a lot of other reasons. So that was MC.
Great, that's a great story. And then there is Sudip Mallik to my right. He is the bad guy. He's the one who churns out these various issues and debates which we are all supposed to run around and run with it and execute. Now, Mrityunjoy Chatterjee, where is Nilanjan? Yes. Yeah, there's a reason for it. When this lot that you see, just if you can show, that is Chitto, Amit and Urmimala, and we and Sudip, we are from the same batch, so to say, plus minus. But when we, Urmi and I had joined Clarion, I think in 76, Mrityunjoy was already the big boy. We were bachas, Mrityunjoy was the big boy. And why I wanted Nilanjan was that in 1975, the art director's annual had carried a book cover, a magazine cover done by Mrityunjoy Chatterjee.
Logo and magazine.
A logo and the magazine, which was called The Decision.
Indian Institute of Management.
That was a magazine by Indian Institute of Management called Decision, where the DEC, the I, was the queen of the chess.
King of the chess.
The king of the chess, sorry, the king of the chess. And when I mentioned this too, that was 1975, so that was even before we came into advertising. He was already in the art director's annual from New York. And when I mentioned this to Nilanjan, I said, my God, I was not even born. So
I actually born that year.
So that's it. He was born that year, so that's the
5 decades in advertising. Started from 70s.
And Mrityunjoy is also a Hall of Fame member of the Advertising Club Calcutta. So we have all sorts of people. Now the rest are the young, what we call the bachas, who I hope, like many of you all who are watching, will gain. Now, let's come down to the brass tacks. The brass tack is very simple. Sudip, who and I often, every time I am here in Kolkata, we spend 2 hours exactly with a fixed menu at Olympia. And every time he churns out some great ideas and says, can we do this now? Oli Pub. So where this Ollie's came. And today what we are discussing is something extremely relevant, and a lot of people, and please write in as we talk, please write in, even not now, later, go through the conversation. We'll be packing up by 5:15 or so. The subject is...
The age of Twitter.
The age of Twitter, yeah, it is very faster. So the subject is, why hire an art director when you have a template? You click and you get a drop down, sort of a drop down, and you say, there is no idea. That is, I think, what we are. Where does the art director's thinking come in? Like very recently, Stalinda had been to Japan, and he showed me some of the work, and some of the imprints were like what may have looked like two big mustaches done with Chinese ink, but they happen to be Mount Fuji. That the sense of that graphic representation seems to apparently have gone, and people come, and a lot of clients have actually told us कि मेरी बेटी तो वो एरिना एप्टेक में से वो डिजाइन सीख के आई है. So when we said कि हम लोग क्या करेंगे?
So don't teach me design.
So don't teach me design. बेटी जानती है. But when we said then why have you called us? He said वो कंप्यूटर से हेडलाइन नहीं निकलता है. Because the computer does not have a software by which you can get copy coming up.
I have experienced. This thing I have experienced.
Actually, no, and maybe when I heard this from a client in Delhi that day, I decided it's time to retire. And computer will give. So the question we are asking is a bigger question.
I must send you a piece that once done for one of the art clubs in Bombay. It's called Boss Kuch Aur Creative Banao.
Kuch aur creative banao. So the question is, and I leave it to the seniors over here and us over here and the youngsters over here, that what would life be without the template? Would you have a life? Would you have an idea? Would they be advertising be as exciting as it is now? So Mrityunjoy, I want you to lead this discussion.
Okay.
5 decades, what would life be, and why hire an art director? Who the hell is the art director?
Yeah.
We need a computer operator.
Yeah.
Expiry date.
Expired. I have already expired, the art director, the concept. Now I will start with my experience, what I was telling you.
Yeah.
The one phone call came to my room in my thought shop, and one gentleman from the other side called. Hello sir. Mr. Chatterjee speaking. Yes. Look, I want a brochure, and it's a fantastic brochure. I know it's designed very well for by the villages, my client. I said, yeah, we'll do that. But before that, I must tell you how much I charge. You'll have to give me 50% advance, then we'll talk, otherwise we don't want to waste of time. Well, how much will you charge? I said, so much. Say, 1 lakh. And complete. I give you concept to completion and see. इतना आप चार्ज करेगा ना, that's all right. अच्छा, अब तो कंप्यूटर में हो जाता है. Why you are charging so much? I know that's right. You have a computer in front of me. But yes, Apple computer in front of me. I will then sit in front of the computer like Amitabh Bachchan and say, computer ji, हमारा ये test करवाना दीजिए. I'm just quiet. I didn't know what to talk. I said, please call and ask him, let's find out how the job is done. I'm very sorry, I shouldn't tell you that. And then he came ultimately after 7 days' time with the advance check and thing and did the job for us. But that is the perception.
And in 7 days it took to talk to the computer.
Yeah, now the whole problem, I won't blame these people, the computer has spoiled, the entire thing. And I'll talk about the template in the early age, when I used to work at Shop Surgeon in Clarion. That time they have given us a manual. You have to follow exactly the manual for letterhead, for blah, 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 everything. What is the type point? And one Guwahati client called me. It is thought shop period, 83, 84. And he said, look, that time computer is on very much. I want a very unique letterhead for you. I said, okay, so how much is it? This much you are charging. But template mein aa jata hai, aap thoda kar dijiye. I don't know what I will do. Then he agreed, and I did the letterhead design, and that was entered into the best letterhead of the world.
Yeah?
400 best letterheads. I have the book with me.
Wow.
And they selected from 7,000 and 8,000 from all over the world, and they selected the 400 best letterhead. And this is one client for Guwahati. And when I sent them the copy of the book, and they were surprised. Oh my God, my company is letterhead in the 400 best letterheads in the world. So that is happening with the template and creativity. But I won't discuss template, thoroughly, because template has lot of merits. Sometimes creative people, look at the template and they come with their own ideas. So that is a guideline probably.
That is a trigger.
Yeah, but that's why the creative, you must have that creative mind, but you need some support. Probably templates sometimes give that support, but otherwise the clients, nowadays mainly the client characters have been changed. They are mainly a trader. They always think computer mein sab ho jata hai. That is a dangerous thing. And one more thing I will say, Sudip, that art director, the concept of art director has changed. In my days, 70s, 80s, I have seen in Clarion that art directors, Shratil guys were, then Kanu Basu,
Shomi Sarkar.
So they knew how to do design. And before that, this Ananda Munshi, fantastic works I have seen. But now that time, artists were very much involved in this kind of advertising.
But I have to mention here one thing that, I've always said, I told Shuri several times, that, it's a time and place thing. It's a generational thing. That was then, this is now.
No, what I'm trying to say, art direction. Now in advertising, actually art direction is a secondary part. Now it's thought process. Advertising has come into, science and art has been merged into advertising. So that's why art direction, in film, in sets, theater, and their art direction is very important. But when advertising is concerned, their art direction concept is creativity. The more creative, how you can think a new idea. That's why in advertising now we find out a lot of engineers, a lot of IITians, a lot of doctors. They're also coming and they say, I love this profession. Advertising is a profession anybody can come and join, from any field. Because if you had that mind, the great, advertising personality, world advertising personality, the Bill.
Bill
DVD. What's the name? Now, he said, I have read in his book that you have to have a wide mind and disciplined mind. Then you can only create advertising. And with that, if you want to take the template, no problem. And art direction, that's why it has become a little bit dicey thing. Now, I have seen a lot of agencies, young boys, they just have learned, this Photoshop and all these things, and they come and join as an art director. And that is the dignity of art director is also falling, and the template is entered into the field.
I hold you there, Mrityunjoy.
Yeah.
I want to come to Stalinga now.
Yeah.
You have had, I think, just after Mitra,
Yeah.
who is being there, I'm taking it as a benchmark, in Priyoda.
Yeah.
We are in Calcutta, so everybody is a da. Please forgive us. We have that thing going. So now, Stalinga, you have done what? 50 years in the business. You are still working. Now, where do you see the computer? What Mrityunjoy is saying, you were almost at some point of time in the art college together. I mean,
Yes.
maybe senior junior. Yeah. But so from that era, you have done such a huge amount of work from different fields.
Across
Theatre,
generations.
cinema, where do you use it? You don't use the computer.
So actually, thing is, computer is a tool. As I use pencil and brush, paints, the computer is almost like that. It's a substitute. Sometimes it's a substitute of the, instead of brush, we are using this mouse and all that. But that is not the thing. You have garbage in and garbage out. So, you have to know, as we know, that the character of the brushes, there are different kinds of brushes. There is a brush it's not very popular in India, mainly in Eastern India, that even the senior artists, they don't know that it exists. That is called fan brush.
What? Hand brush.
Fan brush.
Fan brush. Fan brush. It's like that. It's like a fan.
Okay.
And this fan brush is used in Western oil painting for modulation, softening the skin and all. Okay. So that's why it's like a fan. It touches only the tip, and sidewise it's away from the canvas. It's like a fan. So the brush we have got circular, round brush and flat brush. Round brush creates roundish lines, and flat brush of course is a flat line. And only this fan brush doesn't have a character, specific character, like flat brush or round brush. So this is it was made for softening the surface or modulation, and I use for calligraphy. Absolutely in the reverse position. So you have to know that the potentiality or the expansion of the tools. Unless until you know that you can use it like any other way also, then you can't use it. But because it has got the limitations in your mind. Psychologically you are bogged down with the tools itself. If you see that the mouse or we have used, in the early days we have to use these electronic paints and all that. So that also is very difficult for some people to use it, the electronic paint.
Right.
How to use it and all that. So behind all these things is your mind and your creativity. Say for instance, I have been to Tokyo, Japan, and it's a confined space, it's a small place. When we are living in the room and all that, you know, this Japan's space is very, very expensive and all. So I have been chopped down in a small room, and I was almost confined in certain manners. So in my mind, this Japan is something from 60s. I have dreamed about Japan. I never been to Japan. So then I used to dream a lot. In the middle of the night, I used to see all those images that I haven't seen in my lifetime. And in the early morning, I used to wake up and start drawing. I had 450 paintings within 1 month. And that is all came from my dream.
These are the great minds.
This is a great mind.
Where the dreams are coming.
Incidentally, at his house last Sunday morning, I saw he showed me what was, to me, it seemed like what we call in Bengali a chhata, jharu, a Japanese jharu. So I said, what is this doing here? It was like a fan-like thing. He said, I have done some painting with this jhata. It apparently cost him some 1400 yen. So that's, okay, Amit, let me ask you something. You know, when the time that we were in that world of our good old art direction, and it was moving in the computer, you, amongst us over here, had the opportunity to be exposed to a lot of international agencies which you were working in Africa, in Europe and all such places. You were heading some of them, heading the creative of some of them. What is your experience? I mean, I'm just saying that let's go out of India for a while and let's see what was happening at, you know, the early 90s, late 80s when when the computer, the mouse click was happening.
The transition period.
The transition period, exactly, that's the word I was looking for. So how did you see this whole thing happening and what do you see now? The last time we met some years back was in Dhaka. What's happening in Dhaka, for instance, which is almost next door for us?
Next door, in your back garden. Well, I will first, first of all, I think for me, an art director has always been, in my experience, my best companion at work. Every copywriter needs a friend. Art directors have been most delightful companions throughout my 37 years in advertising. Another thing is that I found some of the best headlines coming out of art directors.
Absolutely.
And of course, they leave me then to write the body copies. But
the long copy.
Yeah, the long copy. But what on the other hand has happened with me is that I've somehow found that copywriters, as a copywriter, that I could get art directors to put on board what I had in mind. And I will go back to an old colleague of yours, Anaz, in Esil, Bapi Basu, who was a marvelous writer, in spite of all his other Yeah, but he was a terrific writer. Terrific writer. And at the initial stages, I had to go through that ragging process with Bapi because I was just like the kind of chasm we have with Mrityunjoy, I had with Bapi when I entered the scene. Because Bapi had already done a generation or 2 generations of work in the business. He already had health that melt in your mouth to his credit. And one thing I will never forget, I learned from Bapi is, you think you're a good copywriter or a great copywriter? He said, I'm a good copywriter. That's not enough. You have to be a great copywriter. And do you see your lines? Do you see your headline? So, who is the art director and who is the copywriter? When we work as a team,
it's a combined
blends. So the lines and the visuals, I think a copywriter has to be.
It is the thinking. It's a
and I've seen that happening. Abroad in most of the agencies that I've been, I've headed the creative. The art directors have been the 2 deputies wherever there's been a team, and somehow or the other they understand. They have a more holistic grasp of things. I think they feel it more than we are busy trying to find words to
Also the other thing here, I'd like just to come in for a second. It's because I think basically the primal objective is first you see, then you read.
I can remember, one ad we created this for HMD.
The visual will not write to myself.
HMD, they are looking for music taster. So after the brief came out and the line came in my mind, do you have a nose for music? And the visual was the goblet, a lot of music things, and the nose, and you got the gold award from Bombay. Best award.
I think Amit will agree that most times, I mean, if you take a ratio of 0 to 10, there are more times when a headline, certainly in my case, I guess this is also, is initiated, inspired, motivated by an art director, than vice versa.
Yeah, you just seem to, you just need to just set it right. The idea is there. And of course, we seem to be copywriters and art directors don't just do print ads, and we also work on radio, on television, now on in digital media. Anybody can.
But their template cannot enter.
Templates cannot enter there, and the more in social media more so because it's a more immediate media.
Yeah.
So you cannot rely on templates.
Immediate media.
That's a very important point. In the world of posts, you cannot depend on templates. Chitto, let me ask you something, and you would be both, because you all are still interacting with clients. We have sort of, slept off. We are doing all these. You all are really working for a living. I mean, Chitto, I know you are very temperamental. I have seen you fight with clients because the client has been telling you that we can handle it. आपकी क्या ज़रूरत है? ये तो हम design internally करवा लेंगे. So this internal, and you may not have had that kind of a thing, but then
no, I'm also facing.
You're also facing that they can do the design themselves by putting boxes.
I've got 3 guys to work for us. They are doing the basic design. So why are we charging for artworks? They can do the artwork.
Oh. So where will this? So how do you manage this?
Very difficult.
How do you manage this?
Unmanageable. It's unmanageable when the client is paying you, is paying me. When he says, okay, we can just do it internally. Okay, let's
get it done.
Let's do it. If you get stuck sometime somewhere, just you can come back to me or come back to somebody like us.
Ashwini, Ushal had told us, and I'll never forget, very early on we joined. I think the primal truth, what he said. He said, because once I remember I went to a meeting with my boss, Stanley Knott, and I was young and I was passionate, I was loud, and I was, I think, even vulgar. I had a big fight with George Verghese, who was the advertising manager of Union Carbide. And I said, how dare you not like it? And I said, oh, such an idiotic thing. I should have been sacked immediately, but they were very kind. Came back, and I think word went to Mr. Ghosh. He called me to his house in Hastings. I said, this is it. If he's going to call me to the house, not the office, then it's, yeah, it's pack up time. Anyway, I was there for 3-4 months, Bhalo, beach, Bhalo. So let me go. He said, do you have a drink? I mean, he knew the family very well. I said, no. He said, shut up. What do you mean, no? You go drinking bloody with Shundor and Jojo and all that in Olympia. Khabi na ki, Coke khabi. You'll have a drink. You'll have a brandy or a whiskey. He said, you'll have a whiskey. Go, that's the bar. Go make me a brandy and you go make a whiskey. So, and he said, see, I keep telling you that there's a difference between a leader and a boss, and a manager, and what I refer to as a halwai, which is very much in Delhi. And I worked in Delhi for many years. So that's the halwai brigade. So these are the bosses and the absolute dumbos that you get. Ghoshal was I was very lucky to work with 3 fantastic people. Subhash Ghoshal, R.K. Swamy, closely, and very closely with somebody, with Frank Simmons, who was, in my time and in my experience, the finest writer that I've seen.
But did you follow their template?
No.
I have a feeling the template is coming in the way of our of fees. It's basically the crunch is justify the money the client has to pay. They're using the template as an excuse not to pay.
That's
what is rightfully yours.
Hold it there. Now, it's a very interesting point. Sudip, the motion is back to you. Because you were the one who started this whole thing about why an art director. Now, if you can tell us, sum it up, and speed. Is it only the money?
No, I don't think I can sum it up right away because there's still a lot more thoughts.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot more is going to happen. Yeah,
but yeah, I think what we've gathered so far is that really there are 2 parts to advertising or art direction. The ideas and the technique. The template obviously cannot substitute ideas. But when it comes to technique, let us not forget that even the template has been done by an art director. It is not happened by the computer. So it is just a question of, is your in-house art director better than the guy who has created the template? And from the client's point of view, he says that, look, you can show me 20 templates, your art director will do 3. And they may not be up to the mark of the templates. So let us not belittle the template either, because while it cannot track the idea, I would say that if you do a website design in-house, and you take a template from outside, the template from outside will probably be better. Okay, so the problem I think arises if you look at the whole thing as one thing. It is not one thing. Out of the 10 jobs which the client is not willing to pay you for, 9 of them can be done with the template. It is the 10th job which requires an art director or a creative thinker. So that 10th job has to be paid for at a certain rate. The other 9 jobs have to be paid at the template rate. So it is when you go to a client and I find the agency saying, so much per ad, then it does not make sense. Because one part of the one thing requires 1 lakh and the others require 3,000 rupees. Because after all, when you have done the first one, you have already templatized your whole campaign.
Yeah, that's right. The format.
Okay, so even we use templates. It is not that
adaptation designs are
what used to go to the khacha. Once you do the khacha,
the typography is
so the templates are not new. Templates have always been there. And there is also an art director in the template. So the distinctions which we are making are perhaps not as clear cut as we are trying to make them to be.
This is presupposing that we are looking at, makes it look as if we are only discussing print or related print and.
I think
templates
templates actually work primarily on print or web.
Yeah,
You can't have a film set template here.
Though photography has become a.
No, photography has had the similar kind of
image bazaar. Yeah.
I look at it as say.
But you are saying you cannot put film into the template, but is on Chaudhuri there is a filmmaker, all films are
I think you got a formula.
All films are like that.
The heroes are villains, the Four songs,
Film is also
two
there.
dancers.
Let me ask here. We have a member of Ollie's who stays in Kolkata, Deshopriyo. He has come in for the first time to attend this, and I hope more such members. I hope they have come somewhere. If they haven't, they will all lose on full kopi shingara now. And that is something that Davis and Grill have promised
If
us.
not
for.
anything else.
If not anything else, and cha, which will be coming at the end of it. You are a youngster into this whole thing.
Yeah,
We are like an old men's club, this is looking like a, reunion, alumni kind of a. What are you making out of it? Are you making anything out of this discussion?
আমি বাংলাতে বলি
বাংলা।
আমাদের যেটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট সেটা হচ্ছে যদি হিস্ট্রিটা পাস্টটা ভালো মতো জানা যায় তাহলে হয়তো ফিউচারের রাস্তাটা অনেক তাড়াতাড়ি তৈরি করা যাবে বা অনেক স্মুথলি তৈরি করা
মিস্টার
যাবে।
ঘোষালের নাম শুনেছো?
না
That's a very big problem all across the line. That's why I asked him.
আমি এখানেই প্রথমবার শুনলাম অ্যাকচুয়ালি আপনাদের।
Acha. Mr. Ghoshal is the god of Indian advertising. Full stop. There is no again no passing. Bujuda? Yeah, that's it. All right.
তো এই টেমপ্লেট নিয়ে করার সময়
Because
ভাবছিলাম
you're working in the template age. You do not
Yeah.
know the pre-template word.
But you should know.
But you should know.
History of advertising.
Like analog camera.
Like I know.
He has a claim to fame already.
Why?
You introduced him before the camera shooting began as the man who crossed swords with on a template. So I think that can be brought in.
তো সম্ভবত গত পরশুদিন আমি স্পেন্সারে গিয়েছিলাম, এখানে আমি একাই থাকি তো রান্না বান্না নিজেকেই করতে হয়। তো বাজার করতে গিয়েছিলাম, তো ওখানে দেখি ডিমের কারির মশলা পাওয়া যাচ্ছে। এবার ব্যাপারটা হলো টেমপ্লেট ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে সেরকম, ডিমের কারির মশলা এনে ডিম দিয়ে জল দিয়ে করে দিলাম, কিন্তু সেই মায়ের হাতে স্বাদটা পাওয়া যায়। এই জন্যই দরকার।
Sudip, you need to translate this.
Yeah, I think this is brilliant. Just to translate what Vishupi has said, he said it's like buying a ready mixed curry paste, which you just tear it up, put pani and put your masalas or anda or whatever, and you get a curry all right,
Instant.
but it's instant curry. But you lose out the love and affection that your mother puts in while making a curry. So the very quick mixed paste is actually the template. The mother's handmade, homemade cooking is actually the creativity.
Yes.
That, I think very well said. Very well.
But passion is there.
Yeah, I know. Very well. That's what he said.
Excellent.
Excellent. All
আর
right.
একটা জিনিস বলতে পারি, অ্যাডভার্টাইজিং থেকে বেরিয়ে কিন্তু আমি সিনেমার দিকে আসি আর কি। এবারে বেশ কিছু বছর, বোধহয় 15-20 বছর আগে এরকম একটা ধারণা চালু হয়েছিল, এখন গ্রিন স্ক্রিন এসে গেছে, ক্রোমাতে শ্যুট করে নেবো লোকজন দিয়ে, পিছনে যা আছে সব কিছু রিমুভ করে দিয়ে আমাদের ইচ্ছা মতো জিনিসপত্র বসিয়ে নেবো। এবার জিনিসটা ভালোই চলছিল, নানা সুপার হিরো ফিল্ম হচ্ছিল, অন্যান্য ফিল্মের কস্ট কমিয়ে জাস্ট কম্পিউটারে বসে সবকিছু হয়ে যাচ্ছে।
বাইরে গিয়ে কেন যাও, ক্রোমা মেরে দাও।
ক্রোমা মেরে বাইরে কেন যাবো, ফ্লাইটে খরচা করে ক্যামেরা, এত বড় বড় ক্যামেরা, এত জিনিসপত্র নিয়ে কেন যাবো। এবারে ব্যাপারটা যেটা হলো, আমাদের হিউম্যান আই হচ্ছে সব থেকে সেন্সিটিভ জিনিস পৃথিবীর মধ্যে, আই থিঙ্ক হিউম্যান আই। বিকজ আমাদের চোখ, আমরা যতই ধোকা দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করি, কোনটা অরিজিনালি ক্রিয়েটেড আর কোনটা নকল, এই দুটোর মধ্যে পার্থক্য কিন্তু আমাদের চোখ খুব ভালো মতো বুঝতে পারে। দ্যাটস ওয়াই এখন নতুন করে ক্রিস্টোফার নোলান বলুন বা কোয়েন্টিন টরেন্টিনো বা মার্টিন স্করসেজি যারা আছেন, তারা ইভেন যে সমস্ত সিনগুলো আমরা এতদিন ভাবতাম যে সেগুলো সিজিআই দিয়েই করা পসিবল, সেরকম কিছু সিন, যেরকম ইন্টারস্টেলারে একটা সিন আছে, আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি মেন প্রোটাগনিস্ট যে সে সামহাও একটা টাইম জোনের মধ্যে পড়ে যায়, টাইম জোনের মধ্যে পড়ে গিয়ে সে বিভিন্ন ব্লকিংস দেখতে পায়, সেই ব্লকিংসের মধ্যে তার মেয়ের লাইফের একটা স্টেজ দেখা যাচ্ছে। সেই জিনিসটা ন্যাচারালি সিজিআই দিয়ে সবাই তৈরি করে, কিন্তু উনি কি করলেন, গোটা জিনিসটা শ্যুট করলেন, গোটা ব্লকিং বানিয়ে প্রায় 16x16 ব্লকিংস, অ্যান্ড গোটা জিনিসটাকে শ্যুট করলেন। এবং শ্যুট করার পরে কেউ কিন্তু বলতে পারেনি যে এটা অরিজিনালি সিজিআইতে করা নাকি শ্যুট করা। এবং কিন্তু এই জায়গাটাতে আমাদের সবার চোখটা অনেক বেশি আটকে গেছিল, জিনিসটা দেখতে অনেক বেশি রিয়েলিস্টিক মনে হচ্ছে যেন আমরা ওটার মধ্যে ট্রাভেল করছি। দ্যাটস ওয়াই ক্রিয়েটিভ পার্সন in hand work is always essential, and it is a mandatory thing for any work.
I think that's a very interesting point you made about using the green screen where it can be used and still cannot be used, but he made a mention of a very interesting point that you cannot bluff the naked eye. And that's what. I just add something to you, very old, almost like a brother, very well-known photographer in Mumbai. I was with him a few months back and I said, so how is, he said, Sujit, you know, when we used to shoot, and this is the time when we used to work together on Big Jam and OCM brands, he said, you know, we used to spend hours on should it be a warm picture, and this is the time that when we used to work with Shekhar Kapoor as the Big Jam model, and there used to be this long meeting, you know, we used to argue, and he says today, and you know, he says that, you see this wall? They bring and they say shoot. So he said, but what about the dimension and the perspective and all that? He said, to hell with it, man. It goes in, done in the computer. So we don't need all that. So why are you charging this much? You're not lagawing them up. You have become a clicker. You know, who clicks. That is the...
Hey, I can remember taking Gavaskar into somewhere in Bombay for shooting. With Big Jam or which...
that was your Dinesh.
Dinesh,
yes.
Oh my God. Gavaskar was that time in absolutely...
Absolutely. So, exactly. So
and when he came back to Calcutta, my friends were touching me. You were in Gavaskar. Oh my God.
So, Achha, at this point of time, I just went and checked the live thing. We have a lot of our friends who are watching right now, and I hope you all are enjoying. So please put in some comments so that we know how to. One kid from Kolkata has said that she is finding this girl called Devlina. You might be knowing her. She is finding this whole discussion inspiring. I'm so happy, Devlina, you're saying that. It is certainly encouraging us. Now you all are inspiring us instead, so that you know more than we are inspiring you. To come back to you, Mrityunjoy. Where do you see the future happening?
Well, I will go with him that, you know, future is there is no doubt about it, you know, because you will have to go along with this, you know, what is happening today. You cannot ignore it. But what I will suggest that the future, the brilliant mind like Deshapriyo, you know, you should go to the past and see how it happens. You should not ignore the past. Because in Bengali they call it bheet. You know, you have to stand on that pedestal.
Foundation.
Yes. Foundation is the past, and if you follow the past, if you don't ignore our root, then this generation will go far. I have no doubt about it.
See, that is equally very important, because I think Urmi's husband Orun Chaudhuri, also our colleague and contemporary in the business, he has done a lot of work in putting down the history of advertising. And I must also add, as a sideshow, his last book, Tears and Laughter.
Laughter and Tears.
Laughter and Tears, that I think was his last book on. He has 2 books on history of advertising. I personally think that these books should be, you know, for the Chuprios and others. Have you heard of Mr. Ghosh? No, right. So I think, you know,
nobody of this generation has.
None of them, huh? So I try to throw this in a group discussion in Delhi, and I was saddened that they hadn't even heard of Padamsi.
That's very
But Sudip, I think you have to use this platform to introduce this, you know, giants.
Yes,
I created the foundation.
Yeah, it's
of
about,
India.
you know, it's about my book. It's about saluting the past to embrace the future.
That's it.
Absolutely.
And you must know these people, you know,
You-
and their contribution.
Don't ignore future.
Their contribution, if they had not been there, we would have not been
You
seeing.
know, I have learned one point.
Refer to the Christopher Nolan's film. What is the film?
Interstellar.
So he admitted that he was also influenced by a galaxy of filmmakers like Godard, like Hitchcock, like Renoir. So they belong to the past, the bygone eras.
And the real.
And the real, yes. And even he mentioned Eisenstein.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God.
I think all the things which
So
happen
I
in
present is time. So says it to quoting the TX, Eliot's time present is time past is time.
Woody
So
Allen
this continuity of the main thing.
Oh, that book on the book.
in my Bergman.
But yes.
All the time.
Indeed, what you have said
Chunky.
just now, the god of Indian advertising, Shivash Ghoshal. I read one article, you know, when I was very young. I used to work in Clarion, I used to get 150 paisa per hour, you know, as a freelance artist.
You started on an artist?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Clarion, yes, 150 paisa per hour. Whole day I worked, I got, you know, 12 rupees. But that was the foundation. And I read one article of Shivash Ghoshal that time, and the article said very clearly, if you want to sustain in advertising, you have to be honest. And you must follow ethics. For ethics, you cannot ignore ethics for advertising. And you have to be honest. I can say that I have seen brilliant ad people are absolutely abolished, gone down, ruined because of their unethical work and dishonesty. Because this is a profession where dishonesty is a galore you can,
Ghosh and Dr. Bose, work closely with him and he's close to the family. One is, you mentioned ₹1.25.
Yes.
Do you know Ghosh came into Thompson when his father paid?
Yes, for him.
Yes.
That we
He used to always say that.
Number one. Number two, I remember there was in those days, Blaze used to have an annual show of international films and all that. So we as kids used to always go there. I remember once sitting somewhere and behind us was the chairman of Blue Bond, Peter Brock, who was one of our clients. And I heard Peter Brock mention, and I'm quoting verbatim, when Mr. Ghosh came into the auditorium upstairs. He always was very light clothes, never flashy white, cream. And he came in with a cream shirt and trousers. I heard Brock saying that, when you see Subhash, you could easily compare him to a professional doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, a complete professional, and you'd never ever think of him as the typical ad man, So that is the level of professionalism. In terms of ethics,
patent Bush shirt.
in terms of ethics, integrity. So he was a fantastic role model.
And that's why the new generation should go back.
You should know about it.
Look at
I think, Sudip, I think as a part of Ollie's agenda, I think we should take this up, in between this we are going to, by the way, let me just add, these discussions on debates on various issues, we have a whole long list that Sudip has written out, and we are supposed to run with it and get it done. We are having the next one out of our friend Taposh Gupta's agency, BEI Confluence in Delhi. That will be on the 12th of January, which is a Saturday. And I'm sorry, today we had to do it on today's Wednesday. But hereafter, and everybody said that sorry, can't come, but we'll watch live.
Kolkata?
Delhi. They are, so 12th January, and the next one will be the 4th one. This is the second one. The 4th edition will be again in Calcutta, sometime around, and we'll try to do it on a Saturday, so that either more people can have time to watch or more people can have time to come. And
sorry, Urmimala is not here. I was looking forward to meet.
And thereafter, we'll keep on doing this in between these sessions, which I think we will get a feedback once we are through by tomorrow, day after. But should we run a few sessions on? I'm not saying teaching advertising. No, this is not. But the essence and the history of Indian advertising, where maybe we can get Arun to come and.
Changing face, I think. Changing face.
The changing face.
Some of you are writing delightful memoirs of your advertising, you in particular, and so many others we've seen. The mention is there of people who have influenced you in your career, and I think that's a very nice way of introducing these stalwarts through your anecdotal writing. Because I've noticed that all of us who are in advertising and who are writing about our experiences and this little. For example, the most delightful things that you said just now, but because they were about Subhash Ghosh and other little stories.
Interesting piece.
Anecdotes. I like this.
I did a cover story once for one of the magazines I was editing called Once Upon a Time in Advertising, which traces my life from the early 70s to a few years ago.
In fact, your life in a rectangle is also there in Bangladesh. Personally,
in fact, I can see material for several books actually being possible out of
these discussions.
Discussions.
Please throw in your ideas. We need them. Guide us.
I keep saying that I have written this article and I have written this article, and frankly, I have not read half of them. maybe they should be together some in one.
Exactly, you're absolutely
That's
correct.
a very good idea.
In fact, the other day,
Compilation
yes,
of-
and edited,
Yes.
in fact, the other day I was,
So three people writing on Subhash Ghoshal, and that is one chapter of the book.
absolutely, yes,
You
yes.
know, another three people writing on somebody else.
And also, as a matter of fact, the other day I was with, I had gone to pay a social visit to Mr. Chatterjee. So Dilip told me, he's 88 now. And Dilip told me that all this that you're doing, are you doing transcripts? So I said, well, no. He said, do it, because there are a lot of stuff that he has been watching, and he said there's interesting stuff that is coming out. Maybe out of some stray discussion, like the way he completely, and he got a round of applause for doing that. He's saying that these could be helping a lot of these management students or students who are studying advertising, nuggets from these discussions. Yes, that's something that we can do. Some of you here have actually, none of us over here have seen Satyajit Ray at work in a studio. You have worked with a lot of his colleagues who were with him in DJ Kima. A lot of them, Niranjan Kaka and Amolda and so many of them. You have worked very closely with the film society, the Calcutta Film Cine Club, where we used to be both members, and you did posters of Battle of Algiers, and you have done all sorts of things. Now, what would have Ray done today, if I may ask this hypothetical question, if there was a template available to him?
I think you would have asked the numbers of 3 really good psychiatrists.
Or one more thing, I'm just mentioning a few names with whom we have, Stalinda has known them personally, some were Mrityunjoy's contemporary, some senior, but a lot of us have worked closely. The traditional visualizer, I'm not even bringing in the art director, visualizer, or the art director, whichever you call it, when they came out with a template, as you say, or the design, a lot of these layouts were actually fine illustrated by them. Shomita would illustrate the whole thing. Gorada would illustrate and his whole thing came as an illustration. Ranenda, right. And after some time, you could see then that after that pencil was gis out, and this is Raghunath. You have worked with Raghunath Goswami for a very long time. Anuda Munshi, all of them, Siddhartha.
Day before yesterday, somebody sent me from Bombay the Anuda Munshi's tea act. An Indian tea board, so many old with lovely drawings. I'll send it to you.
We must put it up on
lovely drawings, and the little bit of poems from Tagore and some others. The Indian tea board, it's fantastic. I just came to, I said, my God.
I have an interesting thing to say here. My first boss, chief copywriter, was in Ulka, Amar Kundu. Amar Kundu was very fond of ultimately writing his copy and then being at the art director, and then after that he used to use these big oil papers and with a thick felt pen create the layout. This is how the copy, this should be placed here, this is where the body copy, this is the picture area. And repeatedly he would keep doing it to the extent that we had 2 art directors at that time, Tushar Shandal and Ordindu Shekhar Ordinda. One of them among them murmured in one of these numerous incidents, said, why the hell are we kept here? I don't know.
The template man, he is preparing the template man to do this.
All right, so I think we have covered an hour, and it's time to close the discussion. Few ending notes. One is that please write in, because all this effort that they are putting in, I'm just a passerby, like a more like a ringmaster of a circus, putting everybody in, but here are the showpieces. We will know what to do, what kind of programs you're looking for, and so please give your critical comments, give us suggestions, and be live and hopefully start attending them as much as you can. 12th Jan is the next, and before we close down, I think all of us need to thank Davis and Grill.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's wonderful. Thank you everybody. Thank you the team of Davis and Grill for being here, for shooting this, right? Where are the others? They have all gone out.
No, they are all sitting
They are here.
watching the whole thing in CCTV and listening.
Oh my God! Oh my God! I mean, this is not very high tech. There will be a YouTube version of this, which we will put it up. We'll give you the links. You can watch it. And now, what we will be going in, minute we shut off that live thing, is something called, is the most delicious thing called Phul Kopi Shingara, which is
Please mention about its Calcutta room.
What's the Phul Kopi?
Phul Kopi is gobi, plain and simple. Gobi ke samosa. Cauliflower.
There was a fantastic anecdote, so full copy singer, the chairman of Ordnance Factory Board, OFB, he's like, secretary of a minister kind of. He came to the office, in thought shop office, and he came and we said, can we offer you some shingara? Then he said, yeah, I love it, but don't give me samosas, you'll have to give me shingara.
Just one point, since we were talking Chatterjee's Ray just now, there is a small expose that I think I should be making right now. Years ago, when I used to be the secretary of the Advertising Club Calcutta and Urmi was the treasurer, we had a category called Calcutta, the Calcutta Plan for a Calcutta Agency, or the Gautam Ghoshal Award for the best campaign. And Mrityunjoy, then working with Thought Shop, had this campaign with the cancer, the snake drug, not drug, the anti-drug campaign which was done by Thought Shop. Mr. Chatterjee, our president, Dilip Chatterjee, decided that he was going to have the 3 top people in advertising in Kolkata to judge on that. So there was Mr. Ghoshal, there was Professor Sengupta, and Mr. Ray. So we got Borun Dada to use that was our route to get Mr. Ray, and who said he will have few minutes for us. So, in those days there were no CDs, so I was like a coolie carrying artworks, including your drug campaign and under the armpit falling down, and you were meeting Mr. Ray, so you couldn't make a mistake. So the tall man came and Mr. Ghoshal and Mr. Sengupta, they had a closed door meeting. And they first saw these ads and then they called me. I was treated like a pariah boy. So the agencies have not, we want them to answer the following question. What was the purpose of advertising? Which target audience? Did they meet what was the penetration? I said, my God. So I went back to the agency and said, ye sab dena padega, nahi to wo. So anyway, everybody put some cock and bull figures and it was taken back. They made their things, they put it in an envelope, each of them. Sealed. It was given to me, I went and gave it to Dilip Chatterjee. Sealed. Then we went to Mr. Ray. He stood, tall man, put his hand on my shoulder because he was standing, so he was resting with that was my most treasured shoulder, on the left. Absolutely, I don't touch here. And then he would look at that and say that, there was a Lipton campaign by somebody, and he said, Acha, cha ta dakhao. So I immediately came with cha. After all that, he said, nah, oshud, drugs. Don't
tell me, come on.
So, and after all that, he said, so Dilip Chatterjee said, so have you, he said, yes, 1, 2, 3. So he said, fine. So I quickly collected, and we had a few pleasantries till his son and Burundada came and threw us out. He said, no more, you have got your time is over. So when we came out, all tension, what would have happened if his 1, 2, 3 had differed with the other ratings now, and you can't tell Mr. Ghoshal, you can't overrule. So trembling, Mr. Chatterjee took out those envelopes and then they had a lift in Bishop Left Road. He tore it up, he said, ki dorkat chilo hai to ye kora, because the ratings that these 2 grades had given was the same one. Without all the parallelity of the trappings of research and right. Thank you very much for staying with us.
Sure. When it was declared, and the comment was, after many years we have seen the drug campaign I'm talking about, how communication works. And when he went to the dais for the award, and I was crying. because there were so many years of work, culminated to that one award.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
with that.
I can't forget it
No, no,
today.
absolutely.
So,
And to think of it, the lady who was then handing out those 500 rupee checks was Urmi, and I was like a major domo from the back telling, I think Suhail or Derek, ye wala ho gaya, next wala chalu karo. And there was Mrityunjoy and Mira who walked up, and that was a remarkable kind of thing.
Yes.
Right? I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you very much. Very soon, let me have your feedbacks. We'll go 12th of January. Please stay tuned for the next Adda Volume 3. Thank you. Right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sudip and Sudip, thank you very much for the wonderful session.
Great fun, yeah. This is absolutely great fun.
Yes,
Yeah,